Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Radcast on the topic of abrupt climate change. I'm very happy to be joined by two colleagues this evening. Jamie, thank you so much for being here. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Thanks for having me. I just look forward to this.
Wonderful. Great to have you here. And we're happy to be joined by Michael in Thailand. Michael, how are you doing this evening?
Doing well. Good to be with you guys.
Awesome. Great to have you. All right. So the topic is abrupt climate change. And this is just an introduction to the series that we're now creating, a whole series of conversations on abrupt climate change. And among others that we'll address are, what is abrupt climate change? We'll address that right here. Is it real? Aren't we, Al Gore promised that we'd be on some 100-year steady glide of increasing temperature and melting ice. Things seem to be happening a lot faster than that 100-year time frame. And to really flesh out the series, where most of the series is going to be we're led by experts in the topic, and there's two I want to highlight among many others who will introduce in the series. One is Professor Guy McPherson, who is the world's leading voice on the topic of abrupt climate change, and he's taken a lot of heat for it. Another is Professor Mark Jacobson of Stanford, and he does not actually talk about abrupt climate change, but he talks about solutions. He focuses on solutions. And he's also done modeling, which is a big part of radical collective intelligence. So, as a very prominent solutionary, I want to introduce his work to kind of balance, the abrupt climate change message, which is quite, is extremely bleak. It couldn't be more bleak. Balance that with solutions and solutionaries. And anyway, well, before I go on, I'm gonna kind of take a breather and gather my thoughts and give you gentlemen a chance to chime in while I formulate kind of a definition. What is abrupt climate change? How do we explain it in simple terms?
Well, I would say this about that, as far as Professor McPherson and Mark Jacobson, they really are the yin and yang. Okay, and you can't have one without the other. And some people focus solely on what they see as one outcome, and other people focus on the other outcome. And this is in normal relationships. So in this relationship as well, the most important project ever, it's necessary to be crystal clear. So that the more different views, the better. I see it. I think it would be foolish to line up everyone that agrees. It would be foolish.
Yeah.
We don't have time for that.
Right.
Everyone at the table.
Yeah. And in fact, one of the things that I think really helps to address this issue is that for the meetings that I've organized and public presentations that I've organized, both for Professor Guy McPherson and for Professor Mark Jacobson, is that after each presentation, in this case at the Sierra Club in Northern California, we had a big after-dinner discussion that we filmed and recorded. And anyway, so we'll include all that in the series, so you can get this whole multi-perspective.
Yes.
Right. And, some staunch solutionaries, as well as some people who staunchly believe that there's nothing we can do. Right. That we've missed our window of opportunity.
Their voices are valid, and we need to hear them.
Yeah.
If for nothing else, to push us faster.
Yeah.
That's you can't fix it. You can't fix it. And that's good. We need it.
Yeah. And along those lines, Michael and I and Professor Guy McPherson all teamed up and recorded a series of conversations under the title The Guy, Fawkes, and Jamin Show. And we really delved into a lot of deep topics related to this. And so anyway, we'll include all that in this series, or probably more likely a sub-series that will branch off of this series on abrupt climate change. So anything more to add? Just in introductory terms. I mean, I know we could talk on and on about it.
In introductory terms, I think that's a concise layout of this topic.
Mm-hmm. Michael, anything to add? And please take your time. No hurry at all.
No, only to refer the viewer back to the previous video we did on the world's most daunting problems, where we highlighted climate change as the big one, and actually there we went into much more depth.
You're right. That's the best place for an introduction, a good solid introduction to abrupt climate change. But just in a nutshell, there are many dozens of self-reinforcing feedback loops, all propelling abrupt climate change forward at an accelerating rate.
Well, and there's a variable in that too, that the 67 currently probably only Dr. McPherson has an idea, but their relationship to each other could exponentially accelerate it faster than it would have been if they were all equal. Because they're not. So we're seeing this summer's going by fast and hot. Because these are activated. Well, they're never going to slow down. This elevator doesn't have a floor it ends at. It just keeps getting faster.
Yeah, and hence the term exponential climate change, and hence the urgency for us to come up with something of equal or greater power to push back against this coming tsunami, this building tsunami of abrupt climate change. What kind of a seawall are we going to erect to push back against it? So anyway, these and other topics we explore in this series on abrupt climate change. So please continue to join us, even though some of the stuff we'll post will be from a year or two ago or so. But lots of good stuff there. All righty. Anything else to add, gentlemen? I give you the last words.
No.
All right. Well, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Jamie, for joining us tonight, and thank you all for watching and for participating in this conversation and in this series. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you.